morning, dear educators. My name is Muhammad Yasin. Today I'll be here speaking as the first speaker from the affirmative team, debating under the motion. This House believes that scholarships should only be granted on the basis of financial necessity. Now, this debate, I'll be debating in the parameters scholarships for universities in Indonesia, whether it be independent universities or state-run universities. So, education is obviously very important. It sort of supplies for what you need in the future life. Essential skills, social skills, culture and courtesy. Obviously all that's very important in life. What you need to improve for yourself, your family, and for your country. To define the motion, scholarships are awards of financial aid for a student to further their education, be it in high school or college or university or any educational institute supported by the Scholarship Institute. However, currently in this debate, I am debating within the parameters for universities in Indonesia. Each scholarship has a criteria and tests you go through before you are to be accepted in the scholarships, like tests, interviews, psycho tests, and they would test your portfolio as well if you have any achievements in academic or non-academic achievements in your school days, high school, senior high school, junior high school, or elementary school. The status quo is mostly anyone can get this scholarship as long as you fulfill those criteria, you pass those tests, you pass those interviews, and so on and so forth. However, anyone with any economical background, whether they're able to afford the university education or unable to. However, we are debating that only those with financial necessities can get those scholarships with the mechanism. The criteria of unable or not able economically is the same criteria as the Smart Indonesia card, KIP as of now. And it's for scholarships for universities, because in Indonesia, for universities only, not for junior high school or high school formal education. Because in Indonesia, there's already the KIP Smart Indonesia card system and the affirmation route for students with an unable economic background. And also, there should be laws passed and regulated by the Ministry of Education and Culture regarding this. So, I would like to go on to explain my arguments based on 3 key points. Firstly, regarding fairness, and then secondly, regarding opportunity, and thirdly, regarding inspiration. To explain the argument regarding fairness, the status quo right now is scholarship is earned through this process that I've mentioned, through these interviews, judged by your portfolio. This means that there is no criteria in this case, economic background. Anyone can apply. Mostly scholarships has a certain criteria, but in this case, anyone can apply. But it doesn't matter about their economical background, whether they're able to pay for the education or not. So let's say an economically able student, in the majority, there's a pool of students who want to join the scholarship. They're in the majority, this economically able student. They want to join a scholarship of some university. They are also able to pass these tests, these interviews. And then the economically unable people in the minority also want to join. And they can pass through these tests as well. Of course, it's more likely that the economically able students are going to get this scholarship. If the economically able people can afford this education, why should they get this scholarship? It's like taking away the chances from the economically unable students. It reduces the chances of them getting a better education. It's like there's a charity giving up necessities, sembako in Indonesian language. The economically able people get the charity, but so if the able people get the charity, the unable people don't get the charity, so it's not fair for them. They're the ones who need it, but the ones who don't need it take it, so that's not fair, of course. So that's how it can be unfair. The current status quo is unfair. We need to change the system to be on the basis of financial necessity. Moving on to my second argument is regarding opportunity. Think of the previous education the unable people went through before university, in their senior high school, junior high school, elementary school years. They were likely in a less developed area with low quality schools, low quality facilities, low quality teachers, an environment which is not up to par with the uh, better places with better educational quality. With scholarship, there is a hope of a better educational experience, better facilities and all that I've mentioned. I'm sure you've heard stories, heard of these people. They were unable in the economic background. They went through low quality schools. But they have the drive, they have the will, they have the passion, they have what it takes to get a better education, to better their lives. So they apply for the scholarships. Let's take some examples. Jerome Polin, Belfa Defara. I'm sure you've heard of these names. Belfa Defara, the CEO of Wrong Guru. Jerome Polin, a famous educational person in YouTube, which, yes. They go on to be successful. They create brands, Wrong Guru, as I've mentioned, giving others opportunities and resources to be just as successful as them. They are motivators, they are influencers. With the scholarship that they got, with the better education that they got a better life, and in turn, they could make others get a better life. That's what scholarships can do. That's what better education can do. The point is, they can get a better education experience than before what they got. Better facilities, better and all that stuff. Meet people with the same spirit. Belfa Devara, as I've mentioned, he went to a high school which is a new high school. There's no experience for the teachers or the students. It's new. So, as you can expect, it's not going to be on par with the current high schools. Moving on to my third argument is inspiration. Scholarships give chances for an almost free, if not fully free education. The expenses are taken care of the institution. Now think of how free things that cost is lowered. For example, the Black Friday phenomenon in the USA. People try as hard as they can, arrive as early as they can to get that product which has the price lowered. That's how it can be a drive for students to get a better education. Mostly what they think they're going to do is what their parents are going to do. Their fate would be sealed. They think they would be fishermen, they think they would be farmers, they think they would be street vendors, but no, with education, with scholarships, they can get a better life for a brighter future. With education, the scholarship, it gives what they need to better their lives, for them and their family. It's a motivation, the scholarship, for them to gain knowledge, to gain what they need to get a better life. And that's all I have to say for now. That's why I agree with the motion. This House believes scholarships should be only granted on the basis of financial necessity, because firstly, regarding fairness, sometimes the people who are able to get the education gets it, and then it doesn't allow the people who are unable to get it. And then secondly, regarding opportunity, and thirdly, regarding inspiration. And that's all I have to say for now. Thank you for your attention.